Welcome everybody to Linux Academy. My name is Terry, and over this course we will be covering all things Linux, introduction to installation and setup. So as we all know, when we install Ubuntu since version 11.04, they've changed from the typical default desktop environment from GNOME or KDE to one that they developed themselves called Unity, and this is what Unity looks like. Most of the videos at Linux Academy are recorded on a Unity desktop just because that's the simplest one to record from, that the most people are familiar with, that they clearly identify with Ubuntu. But in this case, we have a full screen terminal up. So you'll notice a number of differences between GNOME and KDE, which we'll also cover in subsequent videos. And one is this taskbar on the left-hand side. This taskbar on the left-hand side it has dockable icons. All of these icons can be added or removed from what they call the launcher. And it exists on the left side, and it only can exist on the left side. We can adjust some of the settings, which we'll show. There's also a traditional start menu, which is much like the GNOME 2 start menu that was either at the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen with the GNOME foot icon. But in this case, it brings up what are called lenses. Now, lenses for Unity are it's a start menu that is fully searchable but not necessarily customizable. So I can do a search for all applications, for example, that are internet, and unless you opt out of it during installation, it will connect to Amazon and other internet resources or third-party partners by Canonical that will suggest items that you might be able to log in and buy. I suggest, for privacy reasons, turning this off, and we'll go over that when we talk about Unity customization. So now that we've got Unity up and we're logged in, we'll look at a number of the icons that are installed here. Amazon is installed by default. I'm going to unlock that from the launcher, and you'll see that that simply goes away, and we're going to unlock this one from the launcher as well. I would leave the system settings and perhaps Unity 1 or Ubuntu 1. Ubuntu 1 is the cloud drive solution for Ubuntu systems. It gives you 5 gigabytes for free, so I'd recommend you go ahead and pick that up if you use Ubuntu or any other version of Linux for that matter, but Ubuntu is the only one that offers a native client. I would use it since 5 gigabytes is a fair amount of storage for free. I will warn you that although it has a client for Mac OS X and Windows, that the one on Windows, which is written in Python, I have had terrible experiences with it updating and keeping my file systems in sync across multiple clients. So take that for what you will. You'll see that the Ubuntu Software Center is an icon on the menu by default, and it looks just like we've shown in the past. And our terminal is full screen, so we can do an update just like we normally would. And all in all, Ubuntu has taken a lot of flack for the development of Unity. In all actuality, most of that's died down because Unity is largely stable and usable, whereas when it was introduced, it had all kinds of performance issues, as well as it was such a radical departure from the GNOME and KDE desktops that people had grown to use and love on previous distributions. So almost like anything that's changed, there are a lot of people that are less comfortable with change than not. So they've taken a lot of slack, a lot of grief for it, but I don't mind Unity at all. Actually, I prefer KDE, and you'll see that when we go over the customization and installation of KDE. But GNOME 3, which again is such a radical departure from GNOME 2, has taken a lot of grief for its radical departures, but it looks really cool. The performance is a little suspect, but I expect that will eventually work itself out. Again, if you want to add items to the launch bar on the side, it's as easy as dragging and dropping it from the lens. And this is the default lens for searching. Again, what it will come up with, if you want to see all of the applications, you can simply choose the applications that are on the system. And anytime that you want to search for anything, so let's search for we'll search for Libre. That'll tell you everything that has Libre in the title. If we do a search for Amazon, we'll get Amazon, the application, and then a whole bunch of Amazon gift card suggestions, one-click suggestions, Amazon books, etc. So again, Unity is the default desktop for Ubuntu 11.04 and later. The Start button, so to speak, uses what are called lenses, and there are a number of different lenses that you can install for different things, for different focuses, and we'll talk about some of that during Unity customization. And you can add and remove items. It's called locking or unlocking them from the launcher. That's all there is for a quick overview for the Unity desktop. My name is Terry for Linux Academy, brought to you by Pinehead TV.